Good morning, students. I am Professor Praveen Ramesh Savi, Assistant Professor in Lakshmichand Golwala College. Today, I will present before you a topic on direct taxes. Direct taxes in India are based and computed on the Income Tax Act 1961. A direct tax is a tax which is imposed on a person or organization, and the person pays it directly to the entity that has imposed it, that is the income tax act authorities. These examples of direct tax includes income tax, real tax, property tax, person property tax, and taxes on assets, all of which are paid by an individual taxpayer directly to the government. Direct taxes are based on the ability to pay principle. Now, this economic principle states that those who have more resources to earn income or earn a higher income should bear a greater tax burden. Some critics see that as a disincentive for individuals to work hard and earn more money, because the more a person makes, the more the tax they pay. In the direct taxes, a concept is there called residential status. This concept is useful and applicable to all the students learning taxation subject. This concept is also useful for the taxpayers who file their returns and all the tax filing persons filing returns on behalf of their clients. We'll study this concept in detail now. So, what is meant by residential status? Residential status of a person means his stay in India, how long the person is staying in India. Based on that, a residential status is been determined. It means residential status of a person depends upon the stay of a person in India. The stay need not be at one place. The stay need not be at the same place. The stay need not be continuous. It means that a person can live in Mumbai for some period of time. He can live in Pune for some period of time. He can also live in Kashmir or any part of India uh, at any period of time, for any period of time. Also, he can be in India for some period of time and can be out of India for some time. Thus, the stay in India also includes a stay in a boat anchored in the territorial waters of India. Residential status is to be determined for every person every year. That is, for every previous year, the residential status changes from year to year. The person might be a resident in one year, might be non resident in another year, because the residential status depends upon the number of days a person is staying in India during the concerned previous year. Thus, we can see that residential status is different from citizenship. Residential status has nothing to do with citizenship. A person can be a citizen of India but cannot be a resident of India. Similarly, a person can be a citizen of foreign country but can be a resident of India. Thus, this residential status is an important factor in deciding whether the foreign income of a person is taxable or not. Residential status is essential to know and classify the income of a person. Based on the residential status, the income of a person will be computed and tax liability thereon can be determined. Residential status is broadly classified into two main parts. First, resident of India, and second, non-resident of India. We'll discuss resident of India. For a person to become a resident of India, he should fulfill either of the two basic conditions. These are the essential conditions we can say which are required for a person to determine or to get himself classified as a person residing in India. The first condition is his stay in India should be for 182 days or more in the previous year. The second condition is his stay in India should be for 60 days or more in the previous year and 365 days or more in preceding 4 years. If any of the above conditions are fulfilled, the person is said to be resident of India. But if both these conditions are not fulfilled, then the person will be considered as non-resident. Thus, we can say that for a person to become a resident of India, he should fulfill either of the two conditions stated above. That is, he should fulfill either 182 days condition, or if he is unable to fulfill the 182 days condition, he should fulfill 60 days in the previous year and 365 days in the preceding 4 years. However, this rule is an exception for two conditions, or we can say there are two exceptions for this rule. These exceptions are as follows. First, a citizen of India or an Indian member of a crew of an Indian ship who leaves India for the purpose of employment becomes a resident of India if he stays for 182 days or more in the previous year. Second exception is a citizen of Indian origin or a person of Indian origin who been outside, that is, who is staying outside India, comes on a visit to India. He can become a resident only if he stays for 182 days or more. Thus, in both these cases, we can say that the condition of 60 days and 365 days is not applicable. So, we can say that a person going abroad for employment purpose or a person of Indian origin staying abroad comes on a visit on India. For them to become a resident of India, they should fulfill the condition of 182 days. The condition of 60 days is not applicable to them. However, when we are counting the days or while counting days for determining the residential purpose, the person living abroad, the day he is living abroad as well as the day he is coming into India, both these days are counted and treated as stay in India. However, for the month of February, the days normally are considered at 28 days, whereas if it is a leap year, it will be 29 days. But for other months of the year, the days calculations are for January it is 31 days, March 31 days, April 30 days, May 31 days, June 30 days, July 31 days, August 31 days, September 30 days, October 31 days, November 30 days, and December 31 days. So while calculating 182 days or 60 days or 365 days, we have to consider this number of days accordingly. However, if a person is classified as resident of India, that is, once if he is classified as resident, then we have to consider whether the person will be ordinary resident or not ordinary resident. For a person to become an ordinary resident, two additional conditions are required. Apart from the basic conditions, the person has to fulfill both the additional conditions. The additional conditions are: first, he should be a resident for 2 years in last 10 previous years, and second condition is His stay in India should be for 730 days or more in preceding 7 years. If both these additional conditions are fulfilled, we can say the person is resident and ordinary resident. But however, if only one condition is fulfilled or none of the conditions are fulfilled, then in that case the person will be said as resident but not ordinary resident. This topic helps us and gives guidance to people to classify their incomes and help to determine the liability of the tax on appropriate basis. For more information on this topic, you can refer the books Direct Taxes, Laws and Practices, or Practical Approach of Direct Taxes, or Taxman's Direct Taxes Ready Reckoner, etc. Thank you.